Big misconception about solo travel is that it is lonely. There are so many people and friends along the way that you can meet on your travels. And yes, I think that's still considered a solo trip because you planned your trip, initially to be on your own. You flew there by yourself, your accommodations, you're staying by yourself. Now, if you're staying in a hostel, of course, it's more opportunity for you to meet people, right? Especially if you're in a dorm with people, not a private room. Sometimes I'll book private rooms in hostels. Sometimes I'll be in a 4-room with women. I've stayed in mixed hostels where it's up to 6 to 8 people. I don't want to do more than 8. But yeah, and in some of those rooms, I've met people, had conversations. They'll say, hey, you want to go to dinner? Go, on an excursion, go check out the new places. And that's easier actually because some of these travelers are more experienced than in Norway. It was my first time to Scandinavia. I wanted to hear other people's stories. I didn't hang out with everybody, but it was still nice to talk to some of them. Some of y'all, I still follow you on Instagram. Good to see you. And yeah, so it's good to make those connections. And those probably would not have been made had you been in a group. Also, met people on walking tours, events that the city is having, even at dinner, if you're at a bar or sitting by yourself. Again, it's easier for locals or people to come up and talk to you as opposed to if you were already traveling with a group. So yes, at times it does get lonely. A lot of times I'm really just thinking, man, I wish someone was here to take my picture. But now that you have tripods, that's not as much of an issue. And of course you do wish sometimes that you had someone else to experience it with you, but at the same time, you took this trip, you are the one experiencing it. So live in the moment. Don't try to feel bad that you are there by yourself. You're always going to find friends to meet along the way. And if your trip is a reflective one, you're more of an introvert, that is fine too. Like, don't feel like you have to be forced to go interact with people, especially in a hostel